This might sound crazy to a lot of people, but your YouTube success has nothing to do with your camera, the algorithm, or your editing. It's because you have a belief about success that is holding you back. If you change this belief, it changes everything. For me, it changed the whole game. If you don't know anything about me, I used to be in self-publishing and I built and sold a six-figure self-publishing business. And now I'm trying to do the same thing on YouTube using the same philosophy that created my previous success, and I'm using it on this platform now. So if you're watching this, I guess you are also somewhere in the YouTube journey trying to build a channel, or maybe you're just starting out or thinking about starting out. So if you want to grow, I'm going to share with you the philosophy that helped me a lot, and I'm sure it's going to transform your business too. So let's jump into it. What is the right philosophy? But before we get to the right philosophy, let's start with what most people's philosophy is that find it hard to build a successful YouTube channel or any online platform for that matter. If you on YouTube or Instagram or on Amazon, whatever platform you're publishing videos or publishing books or just posting on X, trying to grow an X account, it's all the same. It all starts with your philosophy and how you see the world and your reality. So with YouTube specifically, the philosophy that most people have, and that's the wrong philosophy, is the idea that I need to go viral quickly to succeed. And they think that if their videos don't blow up immediately within the first few weeks or first few months, then they failed. And the problem with this is if you have this philosophy about success on this platform or just online business in general, is that you become desperate, right? So you think, well, I've got to chase harder just to get that viral hit so my channel explodes. And yes, it can happen. You can go viral, but for most, this is not the reality, right? Most don't go viral immediately. So you see these channels on YouTube or Instagram, and you'll see people within the first month or first 3 weeks, they get this magic video and it explodes, and you think, well, I've got to push for that too because that's how I'm going to win. But the reality is the most successful YouTubers didn't rise that way. And the problem is most people, if they don't get what they want within the first month or two, they just quit, they give up. But for successful YouTubers, the reality is they started slow and they didn't see results for the first few months, even the first year or two. And they just kept on going. Because the reality is your channel can blow up at any time. But like I said, for most, it's going to take some time. You know, for me, starting this channel, I'm well aware of this fact. It might take a few months, a year, I don't know. But most new creators on any platform, they start off and they've got this big motivation that they want to build a successful channel or successful platform. And for the first few weeks, they're very excited, very motivated, so they start posting. Let's say for the first 100 days, they just, they go all in. Everything's there. They just push, push, push. And then if they don't see the success within that first 100 days, they just quit. And that's kind of sad because, they were so close to that tipping point where they could have had all the success they ever wanted. But because they have this philosophy of, if I don't win right now, then I fail, they quit. And, the reality is if they just stuck it out a little bit longer, they could have exploded their channel and they could have had a lot of success. So what is the right philosophy, right? And we've just discussed the wrong philosophy in building a successful YouTube channel or successful online business. What's the right philosophy? Well, if you create the philosophy that success will come if I don't quit. And I don't know when it will be, but it will happen. If you put that in your mind as your new philosophy, things will come. Another thing is every video is a compound interest in your online business, right? Every video you put out there, even if you don't see immediate results, it's compounding. You know, in my previous business, I was, like I mentioned, I was in online publishing. Sometimes I didn't see success for, 6, 7 months before a book took off. In fact, one of my most successful books took almost a year to take off, and it made me a lot of money. And YouTube is the same. It's, you put a video out there, and, some videos might, crash, but there will be some videos that will explode in the future or do really well and bring in business. So just see your videos as little investments that's going to give you compound interest over time. And remember, the plateau is where the success is, right? Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of people, just to give an example, the first 100 days, when that graph on your analytics is flat, that's where the winners push on, they push forward. And where the losers, they quit, they give up, because their whole philosophy about winning is wrong, right? They want the quick success, which, like I said, does happen for some people, but for most, it doesn't. So the plateau, where nothing's happening, that's where you have to decide if you're going to win or lose, right? And your motivation might fade, but if your why is strong enough and your philosophy is the right one, then you're going to push forward, and eventually your business is going to take off and your channel is going to grow and your whole life is going to change. This is the case for all online businesses, right? Overnight success is, for most people, it doesn't happen, not a reality. But if you play the long game in any online business, including YouTube, then success will come. But to overcome this plateau where nothing's happening, you have to have the right philosophy to steer you in the right direction when things are not going as you thought they would. So, what to do next? Well, go get a piece of paper and a pen, come back to this video, take some notes, and write down your new philosophy, how you're going to change your mindset about your long-term success on YouTube. And listen, if you do blow up, you get a lucky video in the next month of your new channel, fantastic, that's great. But it's a lot better to have a philosophy that tells you that no matter what, you're going to make this work. And that even if it takes you a year or 2, that you're going to push on forward and you're going to keep on posting. And that's how you're going to win. But you need to remind yourself, because people forget, right? The mind is a strange thing. If you don't remind yourself of why you're doing this and that the plateau is part of the game, if you don't remind yourself that on a weekly basis at least, then you're going to forget about it, you're going to get discouraged, and you're going to give up like most creators. Because the reality is, most people who start a new YouTube channel, they give up. That is the reality of not just actually YouTube, but most online businesses. They fail because people, they just give up because they don't see the instant results. They get the shiny object syndrome, where they see the next big thing, the new big trend, and they decide, you know what, this YouTube thing isn't working out, I'm going to jump on the next trend, and maybe there I will quickly become an overnight success story. But my recommendation to you is change your philosophy about business and YouTube, and you will win if you don't quit. Okay, so that's it for this video, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.